morning, this is Kwaku Asante again. And this morning, like every other morning, I've met you here with something honest, something bold, and something that matters. Let's call this segment again, like I told you yesterday, fellow Ghanaians. A phrase that I know echoes with duty, the duty to speak, the duty to care, and the duty to act together. We'll say these uncomfortable truths because silence has never built a nation. Fellow Ghanaians, this morning, we turn our attention to a part of Ghana that has been burning for years. A place where conflict and bloodshed has become routine, where lives are lost not to nature, but to neighbor, where children wake up not to dreams, but to danger. I'm talking about Bawku. What started as a chieftaincy dispute decades ago has now mutated into something worse, something more brutal, more reckless, and shameful. A never-ending cycle of violence that has claimed thousands of lives. School children, pregnant women, security officers, traders, students, farmers, innocent Ghanaians, all of them gone. But for what? Fellow Ghanaians, just a few days ago, a student was dragged out of his dormitory and murdered. Yes, he was killed. This is a student who was not carrying arms. He should be in a school uniform and in school. Students are supposed to just focus on their books. They're supposed to be safe, but not with this conflict. Because as we know now in Bawku, bullets fly faster than help. Death comes before development, and violence wins every single argument. This is not just another conflict. This is a national disgrace. And yet, it appears the rest of the country behaves like Bawku is some distant war zone that is not part of our republic. As though the constitution stops applying north of Bolgatanga, as though the lives lost are not Ghanaian lives, as though silence will make it all go away. It won't. What's worse, this conflict has frozen time completely in Bawku. No meaningful development. Schools are half empty or closed. Hospitals are overwhelmed, abandoned. Markets have been deserted. Roads have been blocked. Businesses are not moving on. Entire communities have been held hostage by fear. And as always, it is the poor who suffer the most. The children who cannot write exams, the mothers who cannot find medicine for their kids, the youth who cannot plan a future. Because in this conflict, the only thing that grows is the cemetery where we continue to bury many dead people. Fellow Ghanaians, where are our leaders in this? Where is Parliament? Where is the National House of Chiefs? Where is the President? We send peacekeepers to foreign lands, but we cannot seem to protect school children right here in Ghana, in Bawku. And what of the security services? Too many times they've been overwhelmed, outgunned, or even accused of bias. Soldiers have been killed, police officers have been ambushed, and still, the guns have not been silenced. So who exactly is funding this conflict? And who is arming the fighters? Who is benefiting from this needless bloodshed? Because someone is, and they must be found, and not just named, prosecuted to full extent of the law. This cannot continue. Fellow Ghanaians, the Bawku conflict must end. Not tomorrow, not after the next fact-finding mission, not after another national security assessment. It must end now. Not with press releases, not with empty declarations, but with real hard action. The government says it is now moving to peace enforcement, but this must include a total arms mop-up in the region, not symbolic seizures. A complete coordinated disarmament, door to door if it becomes necessary. If you are caught with a weapon, you must face the law. No excuses, no political cover. The violence has lasted too long for leniency. We need to offer all the support we can to the Asante-Hene-led mediation efforts. We need respected, neutral figures like him with support from religious leaders, other traditional rulers from outside the region, legal experts, and conflict resolution professionals. Let them do the deep, slow, painful work of dialogue, but let it be honest, let it be binding. Then the government must create a special development initiative for Bawku, not as compensation, but as an investment in peace. Every war-torn society must be rebuilt. Schools, health facilities, roads, internet, jobs. If we want the youth to choose peace, we must give them something more than mere slogans. We must give them opportunity. But even more importantly, there must be justice. Full stop. Every killing must be investigated. Every trigger pulled must be accounted for, and every atrocity documented. Because without justice, there can be no peace. And without peace, there can be no Ghana. Fellow Ghanaians, Bawku is bleeding. But Ghana cannot afford to look away. You and I cannot afford to look away. This is not just a regional matter confined to Bawku and its environs. It's a national emergency. And if we cannot stop a conflict within our own borders, then we have no moral authority to call ourselves a stable democracy. If we cannot protect our school children, then we've already failed our future. And if we cannot end this violence, then we are complicit. To you, the people in Bawku and neighboring communities that are embroiled in this conflict, we say enough. No one is coming to save you by yourselves. You need to lay down your guns, break the cycle. Choose your children over death. Choose tomorrow over yesterday. And to all of us, we must speak up. We must demand answers and we must demand action. Because that is what leadership demands. And this is a very republic. And every inch of it matters, whether be it in the north, the south, or anywhere else. And that is it with Bawku. And we must all come together and end this scourge. Fellow Ghanaians, I'll see you again tomorrow. And hopefully, in the coming days, we get to tell a better story about Bawku, Nalerigu, and adjoining communities. Good morning and have a great day.